Hey guys, what's up? It's Julia and welcome back to my channel.
Since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Welcome to day 3 of Vlogmas. Today I'm going to be spilling the tea while I drink my tea. That's way too hot. The first question is, what do you think is the hardest part about being a teenager? Wait, what? The first question is, what do you think is the hardest part about being a teenager? We're getting right into it. Okay. I think the hardest part about being a teenager is worrying that everything you do is going to affect the rest of your life, which really any stage of your life, what you're doing is going to have an impact on the rest of your life. But when you're a teenager, you have college and figuring out what you want to do for a career. So I think that's what's probably most stressful, kind of deciding what you want to do for the rest of your life, even though obviously it changes over time and you don't have to know at 16, 17 what you want to do. How long have you been vegan for and why did you go vegan? I went vegan last Halloween, so it's now been a little over a year, and I know that Halloween is probably the weirdest day of the year to go vegan because it's a day full of candy, but there are a lot of candies that are vegan. I don't know why I decided to go vegan last Halloween. I just needed a day to start, and on Halloween I decided to go vegan. I have been influenced by my family for many years. My family's very into health and nutrition, so they were always passionate about finding healthier options, and eventually we discovered veganism and we started learning more about it. And I also watched a documentary on Netflix called What the Health, and that really opened my eyes. And after watching that documentary, it was kind of hard to eat dairy again. I went vegetarian when I was in 6th grade. I already wasn't eating meat, so it was just cutting out dairy. And after watching that documentary and learning more about where the dairy comes from and the whole animal factory, all of that, I just really couldn't do it anymore. And being vegan has been great. There are so many awesome vegan YouTubers. I'll link a few down below that I love. It's been working out for me really well, and I'm really glad that I made the switch. Are you currently working on anything? Yes, I'm currently working on a movie called The Prom. It was a Broadway musical and they're making it into a Netflix movie. And I am so grateful. I cannot wait to start filming next year. If you want to stay updated on how that's going, head over to my Instagram, which is @thejuliamarley. It's really been a dream come true and I'm pinching myself every day. Best part of 2019. I think I've really grown as a person this year, and I've had some huge blessings this year that I'm so grateful about. But I think the best part of this year for me was releasing my first song, because that was something new that I had never done before. That was not an easy process, and I'm so glad that it happened, and I definitely want to keep releasing songs, and I see many more songs in my future. Have you ever broken a bone? Yes. When I was, I don't know how old, maybe 10 or 11, I fractured my foot. It's the stupidest reason. I didn't feel like doing my homework, so I decided to start doing cartwheels in my room, and I hit my foot on my desk and I fractured it. How stupid was I? It was awful. I was in a boot for a little over a month, and I will never do that again. By the way, I didn't mention, this is chai tea from Trader Joe's. It's not as good as the one from Starbucks, but it's fine. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. Okay, do you have any embarrassing stories? I have so many. I think my most embarrassing story is when I was, I don't know if I've told this on my channel before, maybe I have, but I was young, probably under 10, and I was going to New York with my family because all of my family lives in New York. So we were going on our annual trip to New York, and I was rushing, I was quickly packing, I got in the car, got to the airport, and when I got to I forget if I realized when I got to the airport or once we were almost there, but eventually I realized that I was not wearing shoes, just socks. Frog socks too. And I think that trip we were going to a wedding, and so I only had my super fancy wedding shoes, and we were doing other things on the trip too, so I needed like tennis shoes or regular day shoes. And I got to the airport in socks. I walked through the airport in socks. I flew to New York in socks, and I'm sure once we got to New York I got shoes. But that was pretty embarrassing because who flies across the country without shoes? I do. How would you describe a perfect day? I love this question. I don't really know. I mean, Maybe right now, my perfect day would be doing a 2-show day on Broadway, because there's nothing I love more than musical theater. And my whole family would be there to see the show, and all my friends, of course. And I would be vlogging and showing you guys what it would be like. And I don't know, I guess a perfect day would be doing what I love with the people I love. Yeah, that sounds pretty perfect to me. If you could eliminate one weakness or limitation in your life, what would it be? Wow, this one's deep. If you could eliminate one weakness in your life, I'm very hard on myself, which is a good thing, I think. But I compare myself a lot to others, and I think that holds me back a lot of the time. So if I could eliminate that, I probably would, because sometimes it's constructive, but most of the time it's counterproductive. If you could give your younger self advice, what would you say? Oh, Julia, I would say so much. Okay, well, I'm 17 right now, and if I could give my 13-year-old self advice, what is 13? That's like 8th grade. Oh my gosh. I would say don't care about what anyone thinks, because at the end of the day, it's you and your life, and you don't want to look back and think that you didn't do things because you were worried about what other people thought. And personally, I still worry about what other people think, because I'm human. I mean, everyone does. But I think when I was in middle school, I was just so worried about what everyone thought, even though the kids that I went to school with were so nice, and I luckily was never bullied or anything like that. I was just so insecure of putting myself out there, which I've definitely gotten better at, I think. But yeah, if I could look back and tell 13-year-old Julia something, I would just say, just be you and live your life, and don't limit yourself. Don't get in your own way. What app do you use the most? Definitely Instagram, I feel like, or maybe YouTube. Probably a combination between Instagram and YouTube, because I watch YouTube videos while I'm doing other things, so it doesn't feel like I'm on YouTube as much, but I probably am. And I'm on Instagram way too much. Even though I just changed my time limit thing to 10 minutes, I changed it from 30 minutes to 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, I realized that I just wasted 10 minutes and I could have been doing something productive. So I think that's made me be a little better about time management on Instagram. Hopefully, we'll see. What are you reading right now? Right now, I am reading a really great, well, I'm rereading a great book called The Actor's Life by Jenna Fisher, who was on The Office. I've read this book before, and I just picked it up the other day and started reading it again because it's so good and so relatable, and it's just a great read. So if you are an actor or in the business and you want a good read, I definitely recommend The Actor's Life. What is your favorite TV show? Well, my favorite TV show of all time was Jane the Virgin until it ended, and I was devastated. And I'm currently watching Grey's Anatomy. I'm on season like 15 or something crazy. I've been watching it for a few years, and it's really good. But I was a die-hard Jane the Virgin fan. I actually did meet Yael Grobglas, who plays Petra and Aneshka. I'll insert that picture right here. It was the best day ever. I was going to see Into the Woods at the Hollywood Bowl, and I was walking to my seat, and I just ran into her, and I knew it was her right away, and I was so starstruck. If you've ever been to the Hollywood Bowl, it's a huge venue, and I was sitting in the back, and she was sitting a few sections over from me, and the entire show I was just like looking at her because I could not believe that I was in the same area as her. And my mom was like, we paid for a ticket to see the show, watch the show, but I couldn't stop just looking at her because I couldn't believe that it was Petra right down the way from me. So yeah, anyways, I love Jane the Virgin. If I ever got to meet Gina Rodriguez, I think I would just be at a loss for words because I love her so much, and everyone on that show is so amazing. What is something you wish you were gifted at doing? I would probably say cooking and running. I do not enjoy cooking. I am really bad at cooking, which is kind of a problem, but I just don't enjoy cooking at all. And I don't have any passion for it. And running, I really don't enjoy, but it's so good for you, and I think it would really help me in my dancing, just the stamina, but I'm just bad at it and I don't enjoy it, which sucks because it's so good for you. So running and cooking would be my two superpowers that I would have in an instant if I could. What are your pet peeves? My pet peeves are probably close talkers, like people who stand so close to you when you're talking to them, so you feel like you kind of have to back up because they're just so close to you, you can't even look them in the eye. I just find that really weird. And also people who don't listen to you when you talk to them, like you talking to someone and you know they're thinking about other things. I don't know, I just kind of find it rude. Would you ever consider living abroad? Absolutely, I would love to live abroad. I think that'd be so amazing. I am definitely interested in studying abroad one of these years. All right, the last question is, what is one thing you thought as a kid that has completely changed? When I was in 5th grade, I told my mom that I would never in a billion years be homeschooled. And look at me now. Alright you guys, that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned something new about me. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell because I'm posting every day for Vlogmas. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!